I can't complain. Been doing
Good,
well.
good. So you go from Reaper to Wrecking Ball. I think that you should be put under a microscope for that. No offense. Does it
Why
go
is it bad?
Well, no, no. I'm just saying like you're ruining tanks' lives, and now you are one of the tanks now. So, one of us, I guess. Okay, nice. Let's get this. So now, why this code in particular? Let me get the stream started here. Why this
Well,
code?
I suppose I mean it's hard to I suppose get a wrecking ball code in because most of the games are either 30-0 and team wipe them. And this
Not
one,
me.
y-
But yeah, go ahead. Go
or
ahead.
it's just a full steam or we get steamrolled. But this one it felt like it was close and I just it was out of my control and I just don't really know. I was kind of lost, is what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at.
yeah. Okay, okay, makes sense. If I'm not an OWCS contender by the end of this, I'm rioting.
Hmm hmm.
Okay, okay. I challenge accepted here. Any fundamental strategy, micro, macro, whatever questions for Wrecking Ball before we get into this?
No, I think I'll save all that for after, if that's all right.
Works for me. Works for me. Let's take a look here. So Wrecking Ball is all about setting up basically the best possible engage with the best possible damage and the least possible of incoming damage. And I think what makes Wrecking Ball really unique is that there is no lack of angle opportunities. So you can basically take any angle. Like if you think compare this to Reaper, right? Like Reaper, generally positioning is a lot simpler because there's probably only one of two or three maybe different angles that you can take. Maybe a short front line angle, maybe you TP and backline on the left or you TP backline on the right. And so you have fewer choices. What makes Wrecking Ball so complicated is that you basically multiply the number of choices that you can have by two, and then you have to ask yourself, how did I position myself mechanically, right? Did I when I took the angle, did I grapple myself in correctly? Did I get the tech that I wanted with slam and so on? And that's what makes this character so challenging is that there's so many ways of expressing yourself skillfully. And so finding patterns as a coach of this character honestly is really annoying because it's not like a nice tidy little package like there is with so many other characters. So I can just chew up a system and spit it out at you and you just have to follow it and you're fine. With Wrecking Ball, it's a lot more complicated than that. Now, that being said, we can still find systems like micro systems within the case, but ultimately the goal is do damage, don't take damage, and do it at the right time. Whether that's on tank, on backline, AoE pressure, individual pressure, disrupting, or going for duels, I don't know. That's going to be situational. So always coming from an angle, utilizing the mobility that you have. But like, for example, right there, like you made a conscious choice to not go for Tracer. Why?
I felt like I'd just be chasing that. I mean, the tracer could just go for the health pack and just fuck off, and then
Sure.
I'm the one getting distracted.
Right, sure. So that's not a 1v1 that you'll necessarily lose. It's not a 1v1 that you should be scared of winning necessarily. I think eventually you will, but like why go for Tracer when you don't have to? Essentially, right? Like when you have every other option available. Okay. So this is really all you need to see. From a positioning standpoint, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like where you've started?
I think I like where I'm started.
Why?
They're not. I because I can roll from that angle to the little cover in the back. You see, like
So
where
basically,
I
you're
can roll.
already thinking about your positioning as not just how does it help my engage, but how does it get me from one position of cover to another position of cover.
Yes, I think that's I think can just roll through and just go to the other cover.
Sure. I mean, I like that. Okay, so why would you not slam here? I'm not being passive aggressive
Um,
here. It's a legitimate question.
I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to slam because if I go up for the slam, then the brig sees me and then they shield me off. The echo just flies up and then the Mora just leaves. I feel like it'd just be better to personally just go through the other side
Is
and maybe
forcing a
shield.
Moira fade with slam worth it?
Um, Maybe. I suppose it depends on what I lose in the process.
Ah, see, that's the question right there. Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. Yeah, I'm not, again, I'm not being passive aggressive here. I'm making you explain your thought processes here. And you nailed it right there, right? So it's like slam is really good, but is it worth it right now? What am I going to lose for going for the slam right now? So right now, you're going to do some generic damage, generic pressure, and see what happens, right? And rolling through to the other cover seems like a pretty safe way of going at it. Now you slam. Why? I think this is a good slam, but this is a very specific reason why.
I think the Echo, I mean, they weren't turned to look at me, and also I have the cover with the place in the back.
Yes, that's it right there, right? It's not just, the Echo, like, honestly, even if the Echo looks at you right now, this is a big slam because I know with where I'm slamming that I'm not going to be punished by enough people to actually kill me, right? Whether they're on any comp, really, here. It doesn't matter, hog or no hog. Now what?
I think after I obviously scout and see where they were left off, I think I should probably roll through and go to the right. It's hard to see the little angle here.
I'm not so sure I agree with that. So your idea of what you did here, I don't agree with. Why? So I'm telling you it's bad and then forcing you to explain my reasoning to me. But this is where I'm going to step in and we're going to cut straight to the chase. This is no bueno. Why?
Well, I suppose there's not really any targets to roll through, and also my team's just kind of not. They've disengaged quite a bit, so I'm kind of taking a lot. So I'll just take a lot of damage, and then not much displacement for it.
Right. So what you're doing is, and I'll be honest with you here, you're kind of describing the symptom, but not the disease. You're right. When we first talked about our initial setup, we liked it because it was on an angle, right? Utilizing a distraction. Why are angles valuable? You tell me. You've played Reaper before, right? So why are angles valuable? What do they do?
Just in general, they force. I mean, they force you to. Like just off angles in general, they force people to look at you or their team, also it gives cover, and also good angle gives cover and allows you to play to your effective range if needed.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. You nailed it, right? So you're going to an angle because of the ability to utilize the cover that this provides, but also because it forces a split in the enemy's attention. And so the reason why I don't like this engage here is because it starts on an angle, but look at where your intention was. If you roll through, you're going to end here. What do you think about this position here?
Yeah, that just kind of leaves me on the front, and
no angle,
I just get battered. Yeah,
and no cover. So your intention of this roll through, whether it worked or not, was crappy. Not because of where it started, but where it was going. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, you can definitely knock enemies into your team occasionally. Like that, sometimes it's worth that sacrifice. But if you compare this engage here, where you go from an angle to an angle with cover, bam, big value, right? Big distractions. Look at that. Literally, everybody is turning around and chasing you right now, and you're totally safe, right? Beautiful. But compare that to this, from an angle to the middle of your team and no cover, that's not good. So, let's try again. It's never the first engage that's hard with Wrecking Ball. It's always that second engage, right? Because it's a fight of all, so you're like, what do I do? Okay, so you tell me. What do you do?
What, like right now, or
sure.
Or just assuming that I don't do the grapple already?
Assuming you don't do the grapple. You're right here with grapple. Right. Where do you
go? Honestly, my team, they're kind of turned to look at me, so I'd probably wait just a moment longer and just go and just roll to the right myself, and then prepare a strike from somewhere around there, either there to the other right, somewhere around there, and maybe roll through there. I could maybe spin around that little thing around the center.
But you're positioning yourself in a better spot for the next engage, all right? Heck, if you want to get really nitpicky here, you could have just sat here and kept shooting because it's a Brigitte, right? Keep shooting from here as you're moving this direction, right? But I like your idea better, I think. I like getting to here, shoot, harass, distract, and then do your engage from here. Again, angle to angle. But you notice that you're holding that distraction. You're holding their attention for longer. Whereas this, you're either dead or you're no longer a threat. And that's the worst thing you could do. Either be useless or dead, right? You have to kind of somewhere be in the between. Make sense?
Yep.
So thoughts on this? From an angle to an angle?
I think this looks fine.
Thoughts? Without getting too much in the weeds, was it good? Was it good? Was it decent?
I may be greeted that out a little long. I don't think the guns was a worthy trade.
Why?
Well, I don't. It looks like they're already got their Inspire up, and I don't think anything's gonna die there. Meanwhile, I'm probably gonna get everything forced off.
100%. If this Moira was half HP, probably I would have shot. If the Brig's shield would have broken, I probably would have shot. But yeah, I agree. Your assessment post-slam was poor. So that costs you about 200, 250 HP, right? Which then means what? Why is that so dangerous? Why is that so bad?
Because I can't immediately re-engage without being like at a disadvantage.
Correct. Like right here, you're probably going to do a roll through. But honestly, here, if you'd had 200 more HP, I think I would have gone for a grapple slam again, even without shields, right? But you don't have the HP for it. So honestly, I think there's been a lot of decent engages here, which makes sense. I mean, you're diamond, right? Oh, that's unfortunate. But there hasn't been enough threat, partly because of the crappy second engage, and then partly because of too much shooting when you had basically, you were not winning that HP trade no matter what you did. And then right now you just need
already
to reset.
sloppy, yeah.
Yeah, and then now we just need to reset. Any questions so far?
I don't think so just yet, no.
Sure. I mean, there's no real, as long as you play your cover smart, there's no real downside to this. You're not going to get punished for it with Brig. A little unlucky. You were smart enough to hold the grapple, but she outplays you. So let's think about this. So I just coached actually Wrecking Ball prior to this, and he had a similar problem versus Sombra. So you coach yourself. What's the play here?
Well, they're already looking at me, so I couldn't now, and my team hasn't exactly made contact yet. I could just wait a little bit longer. Alternatively, let's see.
Caps.
It's hard getting past the brig when they mark you, because it feels like you just kind of get no value for.
It's not a one-for-one trade, really. You know. She gets to mark you, and she gives the Inspire to her team. It sucks. Okay, so from a macro perspective, correct. You needed to wait about 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3. Now you go. Right? Perfect. Micro perspective, there's something really important here, and it's a concept as simple as it sounds. It's unpredictability. This is something that you have to do versus Annas, versus Sombras, versus Roadhog, versus Brigitte, versus Lucius, and so on and so on and so on. Anything, and really this is just a good concept, period. You're coming from an angle, but you said, hey, everybody, I'm on the angle, woo, woo, right, which is fine. Like, you know, it's okay. It's a distraction value. But that is going to compromise the lethality and consistency of your engage, right? So what do? You still have to engage, right? So what do?
Let's see. After I could maybe if I could maybe mix it up and go around the right side and see if I can try and engage through there.
Whoosh, yeah, that's it. Give me another one.
And maybe I could work my way to the left side, and there's two doorways here that I can engage from.
Yep. You ready for another one here? You can even grapple retract up here.
Oh.
And you ready for another one? You've been playing hard to get because you don't want her to proc her Inspire, right? But what if you just let her proc her Inspire?
Like I just sit there, like I shoot?
Yeah. You need to avoid stickies, obviously, but if you just shoot, she's going to use the whip.
Is that really a worthy trade? Because I feel like I could get burned down from the Echo and
yeah, so not for the Echo. Yeah, not for the Echo, of course not. But if you were to keep doing what you're doing now, but with the intention of like, come on, whip me, right there, like let her whip you or bait the stickies and then go for it. Even if she hits the whip, you get a free engage. You get me?
Right.
you're like, is it worth the Inspire? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is, especially if you have, like, let's say, mines, right? Absolutely worth baiting that whip shot right now. Regardless of whether you come in from the left or from the right, or bait the whip, or use the little retract idea I had, all of those can work, but the concept is unpredictability versus CC. It's not just going in and out quickly, but about being a little bit unpredictable with how you're going to do it. And so remember we talked about like what makes Wrecking Ball really hard and really valuable is because you have so many angles and choices. That's also what makes Wrecking Ball very punishing, is because unlike other tanks, like even a Winston here, he could just kind of brute force it and engage. And yeah, he might get whipped, but he'd be fine. He'd drop the bubble, he'd zap, he'd distract. You don't have that luxury. If you aren't unpredictable versus CC, sometimes you're just the worst thing in the entire lobby. Completely worthless. And you've probably felt like that sometimes, right? There's two problems with Wrecking Balls that struggle versus CC. Number one is team timing, right? Which we've already established is a bit of an issue this fight. But the second one is unpredictability and the inconsistency with being unpredictable. If you're predictable, you're easy to stop. If you're not predictable, you're hard to stop. And that's a skill that you're going to have to learn to practice. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So I don't really have any feedback here. The Brig did play it well. You were a little early, but you just were too predictable.
I think I get lost here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, there's nowhere for you to go. You're dead. There's just absolutely nothing you can do at that point, so. Okay. I don't even know he was aiming for you.
Yeah, I think he was aiming for the Ana.
Yeah, look at that. Get down, Mrs. President. Okay.
Okay, right here I think it gets a little sloppier, but
yeah.
I'm just wondering these how do I make a play here, because it looks like there's a Brig on one side and there's a Hog on the other, and I just go anyway and I just kind of get thrown around.
Well, you treat it like you treat it any 2v1. If their attention is on you, then you respect them. If their attention is not on you, then you disrespect a little bit. Like right now, for example, you see this, and so you go, I got this. And sure enough, you do, right? Right? Now, I wouldn't do this. This has been a consistent mistake from you. You see it?
Right, so the instant go out of...
yeah.
The instant go out of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Get right back into ball form here, right? Get right back into ball form here. And just immediately disengage. And so even like the adaptive shields here, it's like, it's just not really worth it, right? So like you immediately disengage, and frankly, I would just sit here and poke from here, if anything, right? Or dodge here, or wait for your next grapple and go again and again and again and again. Like, it's weird. Like right now, you're never really expected to do a lot of damage versus a composition like this, because they just have so many ways of surviving it. But what you're built for is distraction, harassing, and winning the trades elsewhere. Like look at the kill feed, right? Hog is losing a ton of HP. They're looking at you. I mean, if I'm coaching this Brigitte Moira as well, I'm really displeased with how they're positioned. I mean, look at how little space they're controlling right now. Look at how little proactivity that we're seeing from these guys, right? And so if that's how we're going to play it, then okay, that's how we're going to play it. We're just not going to do anything.
Oh yeah, when I go for a slam, do I really do I want to decide if I want to go out and shoot like before I do the slam or after I do the slam? Because I feel like if I decide to shoot after the slam, I end up misevaluating a lot.
I think it's a little bit of both, right? Like, I think if you look at this here, for example, this is a perfect example, because you look at this and you're like, okay, this is a Brig who's basically full, probably not going to want to shoot after, okay? But like, let's say that she screws up her shield and hits the full damage slam, and you see her take damage, and you pull it out a couple of bullets, and then she gets a lot of healing. It's fine to go back into ball form. Like, a lot of the times when you're making this mistake, it's not because you shot 10 bullets that you shouldn't have, right? What's happening is you're shooting 40 bullets that you shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a question of do I shoot or do I not shoot. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes it's just how much do I shoot? Like, look at this right here. Okay, that's good enough right there. That's not really worth anymore, right? Like, okay, and then this is where you get hooked. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's just like overstaying your welcome. It's not the fact that you got your foot in the door, it's that you got your whole body in the door. It's just like, just stop. Because that just costs you downtime, like, right? Like, you should have already been slamming here, and you shouldn't have used your adaptive shields. So that way you could full commit here without feeling badly about it. Oh dear.
No.
I mean, honestly, that sucks. It's unlucky. It happens. It happens. I saw the vision. Best angle for your approach here. What do you think?
I think I go back into ball form and just start moving to the left and slam there with mines. I think that's what I
Agreed.
do, but I think I might mess up the mines.
No, this looks good.
This is
This
the
looks
one I
good.
did good.
And this is why approach is so important. Not just unpredictability, but approach, because you can't be canceled here, right? So you come here, she can't slam you, she can't bash you, she can't whip you, right? It's so hard. So you just drop this here and you're cooking. And now you're standing and shooting. Why?
Well, it looked. I saw them like really low, so I thought they were probably killable.
Sure, I agree. Doesn't matter if it's rally or not. This is killable.
Dynamic reinforcement engaged.
Delightful. Well done. Yeah, this is good. Good minds. Good minds because of a good approach. Like, your setup to wrap around from left here and then grapple off this way is perfect. Really well done. Nice job.
I'm curious if this is greed or not, because
No.
it
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, you hit the grapple. She's chunked down. She's missing blink, so you can win that 1v1. And there's nothing else to do right now besides set up, right? And so she's kind of on your way of setting up. This is okay. I mean, I know you messed up the grapple here, but we need to talk about like how you'd want to approach this right now. So what should you do from here?
Maybe shoot them down.
Yeah.
I think I force a cooldown just by shooting instead of.
I agree. I agree. I would just sit here and pop it, pop a couple packs, let them know you're here, distract, harass, look for something patient, look for an engage on either Echo, Curie, or Brig. You mess it up, but honestly, it just wasn't great anyway. And then ultimately, you're stuck on the floor. Oh no, we need to get out, reset. Not the end of the world, though. Okay, now what?
I think my grapple and slam on this Echo looked pretty fine, personally.
Ooh, I was not expecting that to happen. Well done. Yeah. I would have looked at this here, and I would have, frankly, expected you to kind of grapple retract up the top and look for pressure from here, just for, like, slam threat. But, honestly, if you can do this, yeah, be my guest.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reaper.
A little early with adaptive shields, just because there isn't anything specifically looking at you at that point in time. But, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, I think I saved the hog here. No.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little unlucky.
Get in there, bombs. Nano boost administered.
Nice slam. Sure. Sure.
Bathe in sunlight.
Good grapple, or good try in the grapple anyway.
Dynamic reinforcement engaged.
Okay.
I think here I might disengage too far. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
but,
a little bit, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Okay, so then where's the next setup from here?
I set up behind.
Yeah,
And-
I think what's happening here is you're struggling on a setup on a quality engage. So from here, I think you just need to take a second and figure like out what's going on. So like with the power of pausing and the power of hindsight, where do you go? What do you do?
Well, I think a safer place where I won't be poked out. I could even like go back and around through the building and engage through there.
So like, what do you mean specifically? Like in here?
No, to the left. Further out. I mean, like the little place where I slammed the Echo before.
Oh, like over here.
Well, I meant the other place. We're towards where the
like
Genji
all
is,
the way,
yeah.
all the way over here. Oh, I see.
That-
So you come in
like-
through here, and I see. Okay, so then where do you go from here?
And then I maybe when they're not looking, I roll through and go to the little cover in the back.
Sure. Sure. I look at this here, and I think you're probably just going to have to do something pretty aggressive, to be honest. Like, I don't see... You kind of probably just need to grapple, roll through, maybe do some distraction harassment. You're close to mines. You have adaptive shields and slam. I think you need to cook a little here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that
straight through kind of resulted in me getting hooked out too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. If the play ultimate was to fully reset, it's fine, but... Sure.
Now, right here, I know I probably greeted that out a bit too much and got, like, my DAP shields and most of my armor force. Like, at what point do I just disengage?
When you start to lose or when there's a more important thing to do. Like, right now, if you look at this and you're like, okay, we need to get mines out now, that's fine, ignore her. Just zoom right past her. If you look at this and you're like, oh, I want to take the 1v1 first, that's fine. You did neither. You need to commit to a decision here. So this is fine. This is also fine. But I might even hold the grapple there. So like grapple and then kind of roll back and then roll through again because you need that 60 damage to win this 1v1, right? So once you get to that point here, you just misplayed the 1v1 because it looked like you started to go for a slam, didn't quite get it, missed a lot of your shots, adaptive shields, missed the grapple because you go for a long grapple and then you're kind of screwed. You kind of see what I'm saying? So your choice needed to be commit to the 1v1, play your grapple correctly, track well, and win the 1v1. Or ignore it entirely. No half measures. No half measures. Does it make sense?
Yeah, so commit. So I have to commit to either one or the other.
Correct. Correct.
Of course, the micro of playing it
Exactly.
better.
It's specifically around the grapple, yeah. Because slam is just, like, I'm going to be honest, like, slam is just not something that's going to scale well versus that 1v1 unless you're, like, counting blinks. But even now, like, post-recall, she's going to have 3 blinks again. So, like, what's the point, right? So don't worry as much about the slam. Mines are fine. It's more just that the entire engage prior to the mines sucked. That's all.
Right.
Good. From cover to cover. Again, a little too much shooting. So right here, what's the next step?
Well, go back into ball form and set up probably. Now,
Agreed.
where I set up, well, I could go left and up the stairs and slam over. That does take a while though.
It does.
I might even get my grapple back. I think get it back in a second, and I might just retract up there.
Yep, agreed.
And do the same thing.
Agreed. Yeah, it's not so much that you're doing. It's not so much that, oh, you have to do something right now. It's just that, like, you're just losing HP, you're giving Inspire, you're getting your Adaptive Shields Force for 30 damage, you know? There just isn't really any reward for what you're doing right now. And honestly, even shooting the Tracer here or shooting the Genji is better than what you're doing right now. There just isn't a lot of value for your attention right now. So when there isn't a lot of value for you shooting, there's probably something better that you could be doing. Whether that's literally nothing or setting up. I gotta see.
Yeah, this mine is a paid actor, I swear.
They do last a long time. But yeah, you notice that, like, whenever you shoot too long, it's not just the shooting that's bad, but also, without fail, the next engage, or like the next 10 seconds, is just, like, really bad. Like, what is this? Like a kind of spin to win, and then you're just like, that's kind of like it. Like you're kind of, and then you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna go slam. Like
I think I went for the spin to win, which obviously the engage just going straight through the front line was bad. But I think I got scared of the Kitsune.
Yeah. I mean, you had to, but the problem is it always goes back to, like, man, if you just retract slammed and then grappled, so, you know, and then spin to win after that, right? Oh, I saw the vision.
Oh, that would have been so good.
That would have been sick. It's not that shooting is always bad. Like, right now you have such an advantage, you might as well. Like, you'll bleed him out.
I guess this is a good time to ask. I always get the hang time. Like you saw, I got the hang time perk. Should I always get the hang time perk, or I don't know? Is there any use of transfer efficiency? I've never actually. I know hang time's strong.
I think, okay, so this is something I don't have a lot of experience with, to be honest with you. My gut says to me the hang time perk is probably decent in most comps, most heroes you're going to play versus, because most heroes you're playing versus just aren't very fast. But it's actually a good question here, because if you look at what you're playing versus now, they either have ways of dealing with your slam or avoiding it entirely. In addition to that, if you look at, like, what you're playing with, You are playing with Reaper, I guess, but if you had, like, let's say, more heroes that could keep tempo with you, that would be diving with you, be taking space with you, I could see the other perk being more useful. I could see it being
Right,
more
so
useful.
is it more in this situation? Does it end up being more preference and play style, or is it like
Yeah,
is there?
it could be. It could be. I would say I could see a world where the shield perk would be better here, just based off of what you're playing versus and how rarely you're going to get a clean, unmitigated slam. There was a patch on it as well recently. I don't know if you saw that. The last
Yeah, they buffed it slightly.
Yeah, they buffed it slightly, right? So if I go back and I look, it's an
It's
additional
50%
1.5.
cost
Yeah. Yeah,
reduction.
so it reduces adaptive shield, reduces its cooldown by 1.5 seconds per ally affected, and the transfer cost is reduced. I mean, that's freaking amazing. Like that's you lose. It's I would say experiment with it more on very highly mobile comps where you're not getting a lot of slams.
Where I can disperse the shields way more commonly with
Right.
the people.
Right. Exactly. And just experiment with it more. What is this rat doing? Get her. Oh, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
the pack blink thing is bane of my existence.
Uh-huh.
They keep stealing all the packs.
That's fine. I would just reset towards your team here. I don't know about this. I think you're gonna get cleared. Pretty sure you're by yourself. Oh no!
So probably a no slam, or is it just no? Is it no? Don't do the slam, or is it just don't do the shooting?
Versus what?
In that situation when I was in the doorway, I took
both.
a lot of damage. Both.
Both. I think as soon as she grabbed the mini health pack here, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, so just don't. Because there's a bunch of health packs. Just don't chase.
Yeah, she like from here, the opportunities of getting the kill here are completely gone. You need to focus on next fight, setting up, and so on. Yeah. Now, if you wanted to win the 1v1 because you wanted this angle really bad, then that's fine. But yeah, this just kind of puts you in a hole. Okay, let's take a look here. Because again, it's like one of those things where like, you know, you spend a lot of time on that, and then now you kind of want to be thinking about mines here. Nice slam, good use of cover. Notice it was from an angle to an angle on cover, right? That's exactly what we want with your engages. Not a very clever engage, but yeah. Oh dear. Oh gosh. Okay, so you coach yourself here. Now what?
Well, I think I should. Well, I think I shouldn't even. I shouldn't even go in there. I'd probably just set up my angle because because it just kind of goes in front of them.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
Very
So,
predictable.
so where would you go?
Honestly, I don't think I should be around that pillar to start with. I think I think I should start from the left side. Maybe I could maybe move to that angle.
Zoom to here? Yeah, seems good to me. Seems good to me. And then kind of play your game from there. Wait for slam, and go in with mines after that. Yeah, seems good.
I think I got a big. I saw the immediate kill and thought, oh yeah, this is gonna be a fight win. I'll just go over here and clean up the
Classic.
supports.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, I mean, that's how it always goes, right? And then you get picked. So just think about next step. Okay, so next step, wait for my CDs, wait for the stuff to kind of cook, and then I'll go from there. Whereas this makes more sense, right? Now, was it the most predictable approach or unpredictable approach ever? No. So let's see. What could you have done better for this engage here?
I think the same mines, but from the right side.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Do it from here. Come at from a better angle and an angle that is a little bit unpredictable too.
Yeah, I think I roll on top of the ceiling and it pulls me back down, so I don't get
I
the
see.
slam. That's just
I see.
unfortunate. But I was still probably could be better.
Nice. I mean, you're nanoed. You kind of have to go, and you can actually out damage her with nano. So that was good. You have adaptive shields, so you might as well. Don't shoot. Set up your next engage. Grapple. Oh,
Close, but he gets.
okay, guess how much HP he had. Guess. I'm gonna guess 4.
I'm going for 5.
5? Oh.
I can heal you.
Oh my gosh!
you win.
Oh no! That's a good. This is a fairly decent fight from you, all things considered. I would stop shooting at this point.
Yeah.
Rerouting clear in
This is good.
area.
Totally fine to shoot. She's freaking low. Get out of dodge. Nice trade.
Repairs complete.
Good. Again, beautiful. Again, going from an angle to an angle with cover. This is gorgeous. You shoot. You go, okay, he's not actually dying. Adaptive shield's out. You're still on an angle. You see it? Perfect. So that now what's coming next, right? Big minds.
I'm wondering, right there, with the adaptive shields a bit premature because I don't notice I
No.
didn't take like any damage from the.
Well-
I barely.
I would predict taking a lot of damage because you're whipping out the guns in the middle of the entire enemy team. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
right.
you probably predict it. And the nice thing about adaptive shields is okay, I didn't get it right now, but I'm gonna go in again now. So like if you go in now and either you come from, I hate to say it, main, maybe to juke the Brigitte whip, or let's say you come from here, you probably will get value out of it. Just go now. Like right there, right? Like that, look at your HP, right? It's unfortunate that you got hooked, but all of that initial burst from Genji and Hog is gone. I actually like the patience not to drop mines there. That was really good of you. And then now you could do it now. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. She's freaking dead. This is good. This is like, holy crap. Like the last 20 seconds is like the best Wrecking Ball you've played this entire game. Like I just want to go back again. So you commit here, you see Suzu, you get out immediately. Grab the Mega to cover. You set up your next engage from an angle at the same time as your team. You scoop and slam. Bam. Immediate adaptive shields because you know there's like 5 people around you. Roadhog, by the way, gets slept. That's the only reason you didn't get hooked. You shoot. Okay, you're not getting the kill. You're out on the angle. You shoot a little bit more. Wait, you scout Brig, and then you go in. You kind of go in also. I think you were thinking about Brig here too. Because look at where you come from. You go from left, but you don't go at the Brig. You notice that? I think the plan was to kind of wrap around here, which obviously, Roadhog got you.
I was planning on wrapping up and around and then the mine slamming the Brig from the other side. That's why I didn't go through the...
Yeah, that's what I think as well. But either way, like, this is nice. You disengage because you're like, oh, I don't want to force it. I didn't get a good mines. Good. You wait, you grapple, you drop mines, you slam, scoop and slam. She's freaking dead. Shoot. Boop him back, body block. And then out as soon as you see the Kitsune. And this fight is freaking over. They're done. Yeah, this is brilliant. I want to stop right there, actually. Okay. What needs to be practiced? Let's be as specific as you possibly can. I know it's Wrecking Ball. I know there's like a lot of vaguities, but what skills need to be practiced on your engage, cooldowns, management, positioning, and so on?
Probably should focus more on thinking about where, what angle I start on and what angle I end up on.
Yeah,
and,
so not just the engage itself, but then like what's the next step, right? From one to the other. Okay, what else?
I should maybe not be as trigger happy with shooting all these bullets.
Sure.
Maybe cut it down a bit if I see nobody's gonna die from it.
Yeah, post slam. Primary fire evaluation. Right? Okay. There was one other thing. Why can't I remember? Oh, crud. What was it? Oh, the unpredictability versus CC. Unpredictability versus
so
CC.
be more unpredictable with the go to situations where I can be more unpredictable and it'll be hard for them to predict where I'm going.
Yes, in terms of your approach, like how I'm approaching being unpredictable to avoid. Basically, you're thinking, okay, they are planning on stopping me. Can I make that stopping me to be a lot harder while still doing it from an angle? Which angle should I do it? Where should I do it? And so on. Okay. Any questions? You said you might have some questions at the end here.
Yes. I have
Yep.
2 questions. The first one, you didn't really see it as much in this game, but I was wondering, when do you try, quote unquote, peeling? I know ball doesn't really, quote, peel the same way, but when do you try peeling, and when do you try counter diving? Because, I play with a team, esports team, and, they always say when they get run down, I should probably they want me to roll through and the people diving. But I've been trained to just counter dive their backline as they're diving.
Right.
Just
I would say almost never. I mean, you're gonna have to have but obviously the adaptive shields things can situationally be good, like that shield sharing. So what I would say is usually not, unless you have the perk, and then you should experiment with that. You should experiment with that because I think like foundationally we would always say no, but maybe the perks tweak that a little bit. I don't know. You go experiment. You tell me. You tell me.
right.
But I would say
No.
don't get bullied too much by. I mean, not bullied, but you know,
Yeah.
you might,
Yeah, I
they
know.
want you to peel because they want
Yeah.
your shields, you know. But maybe not, you know. Okay, go ahead.
Now you get to go back and say, but Spielo told me.
Yeah, actually, you know, exactly.
Actually.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Next one is it's about making like I know you obviously engage when they make contact, but at what point does it become making contact? Because I feel like it varies a lot depending on who's shooting at who, uh, what everybody's effective range is, and some people might be in effective range and some people might not. And if I wait for too long, then the Roadhog gets close. It's to my snipers, you know.
So is in like waiting to go in?
Yes. At what point is it considered making contact and I need to go in? Obviously engage to the effective range, but that varies on characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not so much about like when do you engage and more about how risky, high risk, high reward of an engage do you take, depending on the context of the fight, right? So you're going to probably go for more low risk engages until you've seen the cooldowns, right? So you're going to roll through, you're going to shoot, you're going to distract, you're going to roll through slam to a corner rather than the middle of the enemy team, right? Those are it's not that you're changing when you engage, you're changing how you engage, if that makes sense, versus CC.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
I mean, and then even mines, right? Like mines changes how aggressive you can go, right? So mines, you can go a lot more aggressive because they're less likely to stand around and poke you down. You know, whether you have the slam perk or not, right? Like if you have slam perk, maybe you get a big scoop slam on an Ana, maybe get a little bit of damage in, maybe she just dies, like, right? Like you don't even have to worry about it. So there's always exceptions to the rules. So just think more about, like I said, not so much when, but how you're engaging. That's always the key.
I think that's all the questions I have.
All right, mate.